Hey guys, I've let the beard grow out. I know a lot of you are saying that you wanted to see it again. Um, I'm on my way to get food. You know that I always need to get my rice bowl before I make one of these videos. I know I haven't been making them as frequently as of late. Today I want to talk about something quite serious, something very close to my heart. So after I get this rice bowl, I will do so. Delicious rice bowl, I must say. Walking back to the apartment right now, and then I'll be ready for our serious convo. Hey guys, I know it's been a while, about 2 weeks since my last upload. I know many of you have been wondering about my tweets recently. Well, I'm talking about drug prices and how absurd they are. For those of you who responded to my tweets and expressed their opinions and thoughts, thank you for the input. It means a lot, and I really liked what you guys had to say. I know that I can always count on you guys for support. Um, a lot has happened over the last 2 weeks, which is why I haven't been able to upload as frequently as I do. Everything has been quite hectic as of late. I'm actually just getting back from the hospital, and I thought it was time that I give you guys an update on what's been going on. So, over the last month or so, Rafael, my son, who you guys have met a couple times, he was showing signs of extreme weakness. He was constantly nauseous and he was getting very strong abdominal pains. So I took him to the hospital to get some tests done, and it turns out that, well, he has type 1 diabetes. I always knew that there was a chance that he may inherit the disease, considering my family and Lindsay's family have a history of diabetes, but I must say the news hit us pretty hard. For those of you who don't know what type 1 diabetes does, I'll tell you, it does not allow your body to create insulin. Basically, the immune system destroys the cells that release insulin. Due to this, people with type 1 diabetes require a daily treatment for the rest of their lives. So my son will need to be on medication, will need to be receiving insulin for the rest of his life. And if that wasn't enough of a hit, I had to find out that due to the insurance package that we have, which is one with high deductibles, we'll need to pay around $2,000 a year for Rafael to receive the insulin that he needs. I must say this bothered me a lot. It actually made me really mad, and I'm kind of disappointed that this needed to happen for me to realize the big problem. Drug prices are absurdly high, and that should not be. It feels like my son is being held for ransom. And how can that be? Just because I can't afford a better insurance package, I have to pay higher prices for drugs that without would mean the death of my son? How does that make sense? If we don't have the money for a better insurance package, what makes these people think that we will have the money to pay these absurd prices? Literally, these people are taking advantage of us because they can set the price at whatever they want because they know that no matter the price, people will still buy. And this problem isn't specific to just the price of insulin. It actually applies to the whole industry of drug making. People are being forced to comply with these standards because if they don't, a loved one could die. And I'm sorry, but I can't just sit here and keep these thoughts to myself. Thanks for being my outlet. This is something that people should be talking about. This is something that people should be fighting about. And I know people will say that this has been an ongoing issue, that has been trying to be solved, but honestly, no changes have been made. I was doing some research directly about insulin prices and found out that since 2004, the three major companies responsible for producing the insulin my boy needs have increased by at least 380%. What is that? How can this be? I mean, I guess I understand the argument that it is expensive to create and develop new drugs. I do understand also that by making a lot of profit, these corporations are able to invest that money into making new drugs that can solve more diseases. But these companies are making profits at the expense of people's lives. And they claim that prices have to be this way for the system to work. And I think this shows a huge problem within the system. I know the decisions that are made about the pricing and how the healthcare system works are done by insurers, the government, and the drug manufacturers. But I won't lie and say I understand the whole healthcare system and how prices are determined. Not many people do, and that is a problem. And it's not for a lack of research, it's a very complex, confusing system. The people being affected by the choices being made don't know why things are the way they are. I don't. There's a lack of transparency. We're just being told a price and we have to comply. And what is even worse is that these companies claim that the prices have to be this way. Yet prices in the US for drugs are dramatically higher compared to England, Canada, and Norway. So clearly that is not true. There's an agenda that is not in the best interest of the people. And how can that be with something related to health, to keeping people alive? We need transparency. We need regulations. We need pricing methods that are in the best interest of the people. Providing health is a service that should be done for the better of the people, not for the profits that can be created. The patient who is the user should have the loudest voice, but does not. I think we need regulations on how prices are created and adjusted, such as drug manufacturers having to justify their price or price increases to the FDA. I think government intervention is needed. There's a lack of competition, which allows these companies to set prices. These drug companies act as monopolies or oligopolies, so maybe the government should allow cheaper foreign imports. For example, if a drug is approved in Europe, it should have a streamlined approval in the US, create more competition. And finally, I think there should be a tier pricing approach, similar to taxes. The people with the most income pay the most, the middle pay the middle, and the poorest pay relatively little. I do understand the fight back that will occur. I know there are some strong players who this is not in the best interest for. I do understand that if it were that easy, it would have probably or hopefully have been already solved, already been done. And I know that bringing drugs from Europe that haven't been approved in the US cause health concerns. I know that. And I know that many have tried to improve the issue and have been unsuccessful. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Government, insurers, and manufacturers should all sit together and realize that compromises need to be made for the better of the people. And I know you guys are probably saying, how do you plan on fighting this? It's a lost cause. I won't win. It won't make a difference. To that I say, does that mean that we shouldn't try? I'm planning on writing a letter to the FDA, a letter to our government officials expressing these concerns, expressing the questions that we want answers to. We want transparency. And I'm also creating a petition that will go along with the letters. And I would really love it if all of you could sign this petition. Not for me, but for everybody in the United States that has to deal with this unfair system. A petition that highlights the outrage and the general confusion of why things are the way they are. I love you guys and the support you always give me. I I know I went on a bit of a rant, and this upload has had quite a dark tone that I don't usually show, but this is an issue that I now realize is too big to just sit back on, and I hope you guys feel the same way. Let's try and make a change instead of not even trying. Thank you, VCs, for listening to me. I'll make an announcement on how to sign the petition, and I promise I'll start uploading more frequently again. I've missed you guys. Till next time, much love, Vicente.